it's a rainy day in Mallorca. So what better time to actually get around to installing the Cybrei carbon crankset. So I've already made some progress. This is from our garden, by the way, homegrown, very nice. And so the rotor is out. And to be honest, I was a little bit reluctant to actually even do this because finally the creak had gone, having swapped cranks and tightened everything back up again, and there was no creak for the last week or so, which is fantastic. And so on the basis of if it ain't broke, don't fix it, I kind of wasn't sure if I wanted to put this in, but that's not progress. So I need to get it in. I am halfway there. So these are the, you can see here, that's my old pair of pants. But this is the old THM bottom bracket, which has this special tool here. Only that tool will do it. Very rare. No bike shop has that, as far as I know. So that was expensive. Anyway, that's now out, and the Cybrei BB is in, which uses a much more normal bottom bracket tool. This one, they're very similar actually, these two, but just slightly different enough that you can't use them. Anyway, so that's now in. Just as a reminder, by the way, if anyone ever wants to do this themselves, that this tightens up the wrong way. So that loosens it, and that tightens it, and the opposite on the other side, which is the opposite of what the pedals are. So it can be a little bit confusing. Anyway, that's in. I did do a little bit of drillium on this little inside cylinder here, but it only went down from 11 grams to 9 grams, unfortunately, and it doesn't really serve a lot of purpose. So that is not going in. Yeah, so I just need to tighten these up to torque, get the crankset in and spaced out properly, and then we can see what it looks like. Just to show the little trials and tribulations you have as a home bike mechanic, this was the tool to get the THM off. And I checked everything before I left work, make sure I had every tool I needed, everything's all okay, got this and everything. But they've changed the size of the ratchet to, I think it's a 3/8, the medium size, which I've got the big and the small here at home, but not the medium, which is at work. So I was cursing whoever did that, because I can't get that on there, and then rummaged through my toolbox and found this old thing, which I must have had for, I don't know, like 15 years or something. And luckily, that is the right size to do these up. So that's great. Oh, and just another small thing is the axle is 29mm, not 30. So less touching of the rear brake cable, if at all. It only pulls the brake cable up when you turn the handlebars extreme like that. Otherwise it sits fairly flat. So that's fine. Oh, and for those that say, please get a bike stand. Yeah, I do have a bike stand, but setting up the bike stand in the living room is not popular. So it's best just to do it like this, which is fine, and less grief. Right, cranks are in. All went smoothly. They spin quite nicely. And it does say aero chainring, but you have to think, just like the rotor, there's nothing particularly aero about this bit, and that is one place where the Shimano, Dura Ace, or Cybrei are actually a little bit better, I think, is in the aero side of things, which is often ignored with cranks, but it's just as important as everything else. Anyway, so now to try them and see how they work. Okay, so just quickly, there was a couple of people saying, can you weigh the bike on camera? Because we don't think it really is below 6 kilos, which is kind of weird, because if you look at what's on it, it sort of makes sense really, and it's mainly down to the tubs, and of course the bike is now stuck. Okay, so let's see. No water bottle, no computer, and what have we got? 5.86. No, not 5.9. Okay, hang on. No, 5.8, 5.84, 5.86. Anyway, this is with a fairly heavy 28mm tyre on the back and a 25 on the front. If I was to run I've got a 25 Vittoria TT tyre, which saves 160 grams at least. So then you'd be down close to 5.7 if I put those tyres on. Anyway, I hope that is proven the point. Who can spot the deliberate mistake that I've made here? Riding it up the hill, a couple of kilometres, it's making a really weird noise. And I'm thinking, that's strange. Why is that? What's wrong with this crankset? What is it with me? Always noisy. What's going on? I was thinking, is it the brake line touching the axle inside? And then, hang on a minute, jump off. Duh. He's put the chain on wrong. Hasn't gone round the tab. So back home and sort that out. Okay, it's gonna have to be a quick one this, because it's starting to rain. Look, raindrops in Mallorca. So yeah, I mean, basically all good, no creaks, no noises, feels solid. I had to raise the saddle a couple of mil. I tried it initially, felt a touch low obviously, so raised that a couple of mil. The cranks feel good. They are 2.5 mil shorter. Out of the saddle still feels fine, still feels powerful enough, not lacking anything there as far as I can tell. It's too early days to know, and as far as like spinning goes and everything, but yeah, the main thing really is the cranks. They're fine. The chain does sound slightly more noisy on the main chainring. I don't know if that's because it's acting a bit like a drum. It's solid, the carbon there that's doing that, I don't know. But, and also actually one little thing, I don't know if you can see it there, but it's almost like the main chainring isn't perfectly straight, because you can see it deviating slightly as it goes through the cage of the front derailleur. So I'm not sure if it's perfectly straight, but it's not causing any issues or anything. But yeah, seems good. Let's get some more miles in. Big gun. Actually, there's some bigger guns up here, even bigger than that one. But yeah, in case the Mallorca was ever attacked by the English. It's too late for that. We're already here. So yeah, a few more miles and a few more smiles, and report back. One thing you do notice about these cranks is that they have this massive hole on the non-drive side. Big hole goes straight through. You could almost keep a mini pump in there or something, or a sausage.